even an incredibly gifted and talented surfer like Felipe Toledo, for instance, has been criticized in the past for just not having it in his constitution to throw himself over ledges and surf waves of consequence like what you do all the time. And I'm curious, like, where does that desire come from for you? Like, is it as simple as the reward from a big wave when everything goes right is worth the risk and the consequence of when it doesn't? I mean, is it that simple, or is it something deeper?
It is that simple, for one level. It's also, I think you gotta think about it into, like, for me, I leaned into that because that to me was a strength and something I showed promise in versus like small wave technical surfing. Like it was just such a struggle and uphill battle, and I just didn't put the time in. But I knew like as soon as I did something in higher consequence, my body reacted in a way. My instincts were faster. I made things I didn't think I could make, and to me that was a strength. And I was like, I'm gonna lean hard into a strength because like it's that age old thing like talent and hard work, and then you combine the two. Like I was like, okay, this is what I'm good at, and if I lean into this and work really hard at being good at what I already have a little advantage in, then I might be able to come become elite in it. And so that was part of like the decision of being a big wave guy. And as far as going back to your question of like, is it just a different mindset? It really is. It is a different thing. You have to enjoy it, you know? Like you see, I look at it now as like the younger generation. I see it happening. Say 10 of them are come up as surfers. One or two are going to be going out on the big days. You'll see them out all of a sudden start surfing Waimea. They're ordering guns. They want it. And you'll see eight or nine, they're over it. And they
Yep.
go
They're
right into
practicing
the
their air
competition.
revs and yeah.
It's just like maybe you're just built that way. To me, it's like some are just built in that they react to fear differently, and they react in an on way versus a turned off way.
Have you have you had a change in perspective being married and in terms of facing consequence and the notion of danger?
I have not. I've been with my wife for 10 years, maybe going on 11 now, and so we've been married 2 or 3 years now. But so I feel like I've been married a lot longer. We've been married like 10 years, but she, yeah, I feel like that'll happen with kids, and I feel like I've seen that happen with other big wave surfers when they've had a child come into the mix. But no, like my wife is as motivated as I am, and she's so into her career as well, and we're both like in it, and we both understand like what needs to be done. That no change, no holding back as far as that. The only times I felt something like that was this year. We did a lot of solo traveling. Not solo traveling, it was just me and my wife, but I had some sessions where I was usually, I'm out there, it's my life is in my friends' hands, and when something goes wrong, like I'm gonna be able to go in and get them, or they're gonna come get me. But all of a sudden, when I was surfing some of these dangerous slabs in northern Europe, and the only person on the beach was my wife, and it's freezing water, that was when I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? If something goes bad right now, I get knocked unconscious. She's on the beach with a handy cam. She don't have a wetsuit, nothing. Like
Yeah.
this is gonna traumatize her and be so bad for her. Like I cut those sessions out just because in case anything went wrong, I did not want her to have to live with the trauma of having to try to do something and fail because it's just too fucking gnarly of a situation.
Yeah.
Water's too cold, and she don't have a wetsuit, and the waves are too big, and then her maybe perish because she's trying to. I didn't. I was like, I cannot put her in that situation ever again. So like
Yeah.
there was that, but as far as pushing in those sessions when there is the safety teams and everything like that, it's full steam ahead.
Full.